Hi crafty friends, it's Tracy Hines, aka Nanner Banana. Now, I am squirreling so bad, and what I should be working on is showing you how I made this embellishment, which it's not done. I still need to put like a tie on it. But what am I doing? So I couldn't wait. All the Dollar Tree stuff turned into a junk journal. Couldn't wait. So I'll have to get more stuff when she does her, if she ends up doing it. But yeah, and I'm going to use this for my idea book. It's got lots of fun pages in it, things like that. I'm just going to flip through it kind of, I know you guys might want to see it, but like for real, I was supposed to hold these items until she did her Dollar Tree challenge. Told Jessica at Paper Terrace does her Dollar Tree challenge, but did I know? Because I had cute things and I had to make a junk journal immediately because that's how I roll over here. So anyway, wanted to tell you that happened. And then I got inspired. I'm doing a craft show in November. I've done it before. I didn't do it this past year, but then I want to definitely do it this year because I want to promote my channel is my idea behind it. So I'm going to do two collections. It's in the first weekend in November, and I'm going to do like Edith Holden. I'm thinking that would be good for November, Thanksgiving, fall. And then I'm doing Vintage Christmas, and it's going to be one signature journals because if you don't know, or you probably do know if you've ever done a craft fair, most people like those 5, 10, 15, $20 items. There's a few things they're willing to pay more for, and I'll bring my like 3 and 5 signature journals. I won't have a lot of them. I'll probably have about 5 or 6, and I'll charge what I normally charge for those, right at 100. But I need to have a journal that I can sell for 20 or less that they would actually want, for one, so they need to look really pretty, really cute. A lot of people in my area do not even know what junk journaling is, so I like to make mine where they can just be handwritten journals. And so that comes into play too. These will get lightly decorated. I'm going to make probably 5 embellishments to put in each one, and then I'm also going to create a little collage pack, so when they purchase this they would get a collage pack too with it. But so the Edith Holden book is not vintage. It's a new reproduction. My daughter got it for me, I think for Mother's Day or my birthday. I can't remember now. So I didn't actually spend any money for it. And then the envelopes that I'm using, I get for free because I open the mail at work, and these are return envelopes for something that we all do electronically now, so we don't technically mail them. So I'm trying to keep my cost as low as I possibly can to still kind of like pay myself for mass making these. I've got 13. I'm gluing these. So like what I did is I did a couple prototypes. This was my first prototype. This is what I landed on though. I like this stitching so much better. Everything else is the same. I've got a lace trim for the border. It's 40 pages front and back, and a lot of really cute pages. And the pages in all of these are basically the same. It'll have maybe a different colored envelope. It might have a different color piece of scrapbook paper. I tried to coordinate it to the cover. And then it'll have a piece of Edith Holden, piece of composing paper, and then this cute floral paper. And on the signatures, I just put some buttons. But that's what I'm landed on. Now I'll still sell this one too, but I'm mass making these. I worked on these yesterday evening. I think I started on these at like 5:30, and I got 2 completely done and landed on this for my prototype. And so then I immediately did trimmed the envelope down to the size I needed it to be, inked around the edges, which if this was a manila envelope, that step wouldn't even be necessary. It would just be perfect as is. I used a piece of muslin for the spine fabric. That way you don't, per se, see envelope. I just think that looks better. And then these are the ones I've already got glued, but I've still got more to glue. They're so pretty. I just love Edith Holden. I love nature. I think that's why I couldn't stop myself from making the journal I got the supplies for at Dollar Tree. But yeah, I mean, I really love this. Like, I love how it turned out. This was the only thing that's not from Dollar Tree. They were in my stash, but everything else is from the Dollar Tree. I showed the haul this week. So this is going to be, you'll see this on Saturday. I showed the haul on Thursday. Everything else is literally Dollar Tree, and I'm going to try and keep all my embellishments I make using bases from there and stuff like that as much as I can. But I also want this to be kind of like an idea journal. Like you'll see on these, Jessica over at Paper Terrace showed how to make the cluster tabs that I just set and made a bunch and put some of them in here. I think they turned out pretty cute. I like them. So where am I at on my Rooster / Country Fair junk journal? I don't have enough ephemera to put it in and fill it up the way I want. But I have been making some things behind the scenes to put in it. And I have a couple more embellishments to show you, which it might be more than that because I don't know when I'm putting videos up. And then I need to decorate it and do a flip through. But I have really, really been enjoying kind of like doing some slow junk journaling. And what do I mean by that? So I have several journals I've been working on. Like I said, I've got this craft show coming up, so I need to make sure that I have plenty of things to take to that. And I've just been like leaving the journals out because I've got like an entryway table and I've just got them kind of like lined up there. And then I just slowly, like if someone that I watch does an embellishment that I like, I'll make some for the themes of those journals. And then like just been slowly filling it up like that. And that may be what ends up happening to the Country Fair journal. I might end up not getting it where I want it per se at the end of this month, but I'll keep it out. And as I see different embellishment or ephemera ideas, I'll make them and keep adding to it. So by the time it's absolutely completely finished, it's full of stuff. But that's what I've been doing. Like I said, I feel kind of guilty for squirreling. I don't know. Do you guys do that with your junk journaling? Do you jump from project to project? I usually don't. And that's one of the things why I do my channel the way I do, is it is a good motivator to get a lot accomplished in a very organized fashion by having one theme a month and getting your month basically finished. So that's kind of where that's where that idea came from. Plus when I do journals, they're very themed up. I love eclectic journals, but I don't really make eclectic journals. I'd like to figure out my own quote quote eclectic journal style. I think that would be so cool. But yeah, that's still me, a work in progress on that one. But I'm so excited about these Edith Holden. I think they're so stinking cute. And once I get them fully dressed and embellished, they're going to be like just super cute. And I can always add an eyelet and put some crinkled bias tape for a closure if I need to, or I can leave them like this. Like I said, I want to keep the costs down really low since I'm taking them to the craft fair. And when you go to a craft fair, you just can't get anywhere close to time reimbursement on your craft. I mean, you're just wanting to get your material costs back, and I usually do ×3 or ×5 for pricing depending on what it is. But then you've got to have like some items that are super, like $1 items, 3, 5, and that's not always easy to accomplish. I know I'm wanting to make some mini junk journal ornaments. That's going to be one of the less expensive items because I'll be able to use scraps to make those. But that's what I'm trying to keep in mind as I make everything. I do not want to have this cost a lot of money. I want it to be strictly using my stash, using what I have, and make it as affordable as possible, but still super, super stinking cute. All right, I'm going to do another one of these. But yeah, this is just a manila envelope, and I fold them in half. And on this particular one, it's like 9.5 by 13, I think, or maybe 10 by 13. That's what it is. It's 10 by 13, but I trimmed it down to like that 9 by 6 size. That's the traditional popular size for a junk journal. And it worked out pretty good. And then I reinforced the spine so it would fold nicely. All right, this one I'm actually going to keep for myself because I think most of you probably know this, but I absolutely love mushrooms. They're like one of my favorite things. I may need to trim that a little bit. I think I will because I want that to be perfect. One moment.